Well, this is going to horrify quite a few people, but this is balsa wood. In 2019, I made a couple of violins with balsa wood fronts. They were part of a sort of a larger batch that I was making, but I thought it'd be fun to just buy some balsa wood off eBay and make a couple of fronts. Obviously, I had no real idea of how thick to make them, so I made one of them. I think it was about 4mm thick, and the other one was about 7 or 8mm thick. The balsa wood was very soft. I mean, obviously you get different grades of balsa wood, but this was a particularly soft one. The thinking for the whole thing was that many people in the past have noticed that some of the better sounding violins tend to be some of the lighter violins, not thinner, but made out of less dense wood. And so some very well-known violin makers, and also a few outlying eccentrics, probably where I sit on this one, have had a go over the years. There have been some interesting results. Some violins have been made with veneer over the balsa wood. Others have been made in a very radical form that don't look anything like a traditional violin. So I decided that I would have a bash and make a couple of very traditional looking violins. Once I'd finished them, the first one, the thinner of the two, sounded great. The second one, not quite so much, to be fair. And I decided that rather than selling them, I would use the better sounding one as a marketing tool, really. So I got people to sort of like and share my page and what have you, for the chance to win the violin. So 2019, off it went to a recipient. Interestingly, a few days ago, somebody left a message on the video of that whole enterprise on YouTube, sort of saying, how did it go? Can we have an update? And I thought that'd be a really good idea. So that's what this is all about. Once I got that sort of request to see what had happened, I sent a text message to the chap who'd won it. His daughter is the person who plays it, and I got this message back. Hi Graham, Happy New Year. Yes, my daughter is still making good use of your violin. She's working towards grade 6 and has recently won a place in the West Sussex Youth Orchestra. Her violin has received very positive remarks from her violin teacher and orchestra leader. I won't use her name. Says she really enjoys playing her violin. And on it goes. So it sounds as though it's getting good use, which is absolutely wonderful. Really pleased to hear that. Subsequently, because there was such a difference between the two, and this footage now is a friend of mine actually playing the second one of the two, and you'll notice that this is a very, very nasally tone compared with the first one. So I took this. I actually took the front off this one and sort of rebuilt it, having sort of graduated the front down to about 4mm, and put the whole thing together, and it's been pretty much hanging on the wall ever since. I'd kind of promised it to somebody, but because it hadn't sounded so good, and also because there had been a little bit of movement on the neck of this one, I didn't sort of send it to them, although I will at some stage send them a violin of some description. Anyway, I know a wonderful violinist called Theo May, who was popping down to the workshop generally to have a chat and show me some of his ideas about some of the stuff he'd been making, and just to have play a few tunes and what have you. And I took the opportunity of seeing what he thought of it. So obviously he's a extremely good player, and make most things sound good, but I think it surprised both of us with how good it still sounds, actually. This is the start of 2022. This is a couple of years old. It's at this stage, when he was playing it really had been sat on the wall for about 18 months with very little playing. I would also say that the action at this moment when he's playing it is absolutely appalling, because it does need the neck angle adjusting. Wow, you make it sound good.
It's
It
nice.
does sound good, though.
It does sound good. It does sound good.
But it came as a bit of a surprise to both of us, that it sounded so good. As I say, I think Theo could make most things sound good, but even so. Having had a chat with Theo and having heard him play it, I must admit I am tempted to make a couple more. I think I'll probably spend a little bit more care over their appearance, because I kind of didn't have terribly high expectations of what they were going to sound like, so perhaps didn't put in as much effort to finishing as I perhaps should have done. And also because I'd kind of decided that I wasn't going to be selling them, it kind of took the impetus away a little bit in that regard. So I might well have a go at doing it properly now that I know that you can really make something out of them. That's me on the right playing one of my standard violins, and that's Theo on the left playing the Balsa violin. It's recorded on a GoPro 8. I've not done anything to the sound. Interesting. Hope you liked it. Please like and follow.
Surprisingly well with that.
Yeah.
Cheers, folks.